Thanks very much, Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Can the Treasurer confirm Australia's economic performance in the September quarter is the worst out of the 28 OECD countries that have reported? If the government had done its jobs on vaccines and quarantine, wouldn't the economy have grown like the others and not shrunk?
The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I can confirm to the House that other than two major advanced economies, Australia has had the strongest recovery, Mr Speaker, across the world. A stronger recovery than we've seen in the United Kingdom, Mr Speaker. A stronger recovery than we've seen in Canada, Mr Speaker. A stronger recovery than we've seen in Germany, Mr Speaker. A stronger recovery than we've seen in Italy, Mr Speaker. And a stronger recovery than we've seen in Japan, Mr Speaker. And the credit is due to the Australian people, Mr Speaker, to the hard work of 26 million Australians who have faced the biggest economic shock since the Great Depression. Mr Speaker, who have faced the first pandemic in a century. And we all remember those images last March, of thousands of our fellow Australians lining up outside Centrelink, either having lost their jobs, Mr Speaker, and businesses were fearful of losing not only their business but also their homes. And the Morrison government responded with the strongest economic support this country has ever seen. Around $300 billion of economic support, more than all the states and territories put together. Programs like JobKeeper that saved 700,000 jobs, Mr Speaker, and the cash flow boost, and business and support payments to pensioners and carers and veterans and others on income support, and business investment incentives that today in the national accounts see business investment 9.1% higher through the year, Mr Speaker. And programs like Home Builder, which was ridiculed by those opposite, but together with our other policies have seen 320,000 Australians get into a home since in the last 3 years, Mr Speaker. And we saw in today's national accounts,
Members on my left.
We saw dwelling investment up in today's national accounts, and dwelling investment is 11.4% higher through the year. And all that time that we're providing economic support to Australians, you know what else we're doing? Something those opposite would never do, providing tax cuts and tax relief, Mr Speaker. The biggest tax cuts that Australians have ever seen. Cuts for families, tax cuts for small business and business investment incentives. So, Mr Speaker, while those opposite took $387 billion of higher taxes to the Australian people, we've been supporting them with lower taxes, supporting them with income and business support, and the net result is that unemployment today is lower than when we came to government.